we have a special guest in studio, and we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace, why it matters, especially at a time like this when companies are struggling to recruit staff to satisfy post-pandemic expectations. Joining us now is human resource expert Maurielle Barbie Jr. First of all, Maurielle, thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate the invitation.
How did you get in this field? I mean, what led you to this after a corporate life?
So I started my career in human resources, spent many years as an HR leader. I was very passionate about DE&I work. And to my surprise, one day a newly appointed CEO asked me about my interest in serving as the Chief Diversity Officer.
Wow.
Since I had really been pushing the organization to do better in that particular space.
Now, when you go in and now you get to consult multiple people and you've written books, you're author, you've done things. When you go into a company, what's your ambition with that company? What are you hired to do?
So what I'm hired to do is to create a level of disruption. The topic of diversity, equity, and inclusion oftentimes leads to silence in terms of no response, people looking at the shoelaces.
Especially now, yeah.
Right. And what I've learned as a practitioner is to really zero in on the data, looking for disparate outcomes as it impacts different populations, and then really pushing organizations to take a systemic approach. And to talk about systems, I always talk about the 3 Ps, taking a look at your policies, your practices, and your procedures as key components of being able to move the needle longer term.
Now, a lot of people hear diversity, equity, inclusion, and they think very specifically about a certain population, but it's really about making sure everyone is able to bring themselves to work and work at a level that brings good things to the company. How do you express that to companies when you get there?
I think that's an excellent point. Diversity includes all of us, and top-performing organizations embrace diversity in that those diverse perspectives contribute to organizations performing far better than their competitors, and data substantiates that.
And when you say data, what kind of data are we talking about?
Looking at the numbers, because what happens in the DE&I space is you can find yourself in an emotional conversation. Is it the right thing? The results are the trigger to get people engaged in the process, focusing on the longer term benefits, not only for the populations, but for the organizations as well.
Maurielle, if people wanted to find you, where would they find you? What book do you have? You wrote a book?
Yeah, I wrote a book. The book is called The Big House. It talks about my leadership journey as a diverse leader in corporate America, also coupled with recommendations for organizations to do better. People can find me on my platform, which is askmaurielle.com.
I like that, man.
Yeah, with the tagline of "You better ask somebody." All those HR questions.
You better ask somebody. I agree, because a lot of people hear DEI and they go, "Oh, here we go." But it's really about including everybody. I love what you're doing, man. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Maurielle, for coming in. All right. If there are conversations you don't understand, like he said, go to askmaurielle.com for any information you need.